the horizontal angle. And by that, I mean the angle with which you attack the basket. Because ideally, you want to go from point A to point B as quickly as possible in a straight line, because that's the quickest way to do that. But there's a defender in the way. So you have to consider your angle of attack a bit more tactfully, and you have to be able to take angles to get around the defender without fouling, without losing the ball. So how do we do that? You can just simply try and go around them, but the defender will move with you because they're not just going to be static, at least a good defender anyway. So you have to consider the defender's movement as you take your angles, but you don't want to go too wide of an angle so that you don't end up being really a threat and you're not actually attacking the basket. You kind of want to have just the right angle to be able to still get to the basket. And in basketball, a lot of the time that ends up looking like some sort of curve. So you kind of go out and then come back in. So I think those are the kind of things you have to consider when you're looking at the horizontal aspect of angles in basketball. Now, second thing to consider with angles in basketball is the vertical aspect, the y-axis. And by that, I mean your body position. So are you standing tall or are you kind of leaning forward? Do you look like you're going to go somewhere? Because if you don't, that mental aspect alone won't give you the right angle to attack anyway, because the defender doesn't think you're going anywhere. You're not even in a position to actually go anywhere anyway. Where are your shoulders at? Are your shoulders in line with the defender? Are you getting below? Because they do say low man wins. And the reason for that is because you're in an acceleration position where you can get a step. To do that, you also need the right level of mobility perhaps in your hips so that you can hinge properly and get into that forward lean. But then also with that, your knees need to have a level of mobility. Then your ankles need to be able to support the whole of your body to get into steeper shin angles and also be able to push off into a quick acceleration. So those are all different types of angles within your body position that you have to consider for the vertical aspect of angles in basketball.